Hi, this is Curt and welcome to another edition of Fire Law Roundup.
So let's go to Kobe Bryant. This is a very simple case. This was a right holding. This is the decision. Here we have a captain who claims he was ordered to take a picture of Kobe Bryant family in that horrific helicopter crash. As many know, what was the number, 26 million, or they lost?
Oh, it's 30. I think the total ended up, Vanessa Bryant ended up with 31 million, but that was a jury verdict. There was 2.5 million to some of the other survivors and so on. I think the total ended up being somewhere just under 40 million with attorney's fees and everything else.
So here, this is one of the captains who was ultimately found not to have done any wrong, right? Was vindicated, but then says, I want my attorney's fees. And when I'm first reading this, I'm like, well, I should get his attorney's fees, except he was offered an attorney and turned it down. And also, and this is important, failed to give notice to his employer by within a certain month of time, 6 months of time, had to give notice that I'm being sued, etc. So here's what I'm saying to everybody watching this, right? Because to have some value to this, it has interest value, certainly. But if you are personally sued, especially fire chiefs, because we always see the fire chief personally sued, do not assume that your employer is going to provide a defense, or your union or anyone else. If there's a law like there is in New York and many other states, including California, if there's a law that says you have to provide notice to your employer that you've been sued, which many or most, states have, you darn well better have proof. And I get a receipt. I tell everyone, you hand the copy of the summons and complaint that I'm getting sued, or a threatening letter or whatever, but don't give up the original, or don't give up something. Have proof that you turned it in. This individual lost one of two reasons, because he didn't give I
think it was more complicated than that. I think what he was saying, here's what he was saying. He was saying that he was told to take the pictures. And then a deputy chief told him, get rid of the pictures. And that's wrong. And that right there, and now whether or not the deputy chief did or didn't, I don't want to get into that. I have no idea whether the deputy chief did, but the allegation is the allegation is that he was told to take the pictures. He took the pictures, and then a deputy chief told him to get rid of them and tell everybody he didn't actually take them. Okay, so what he's alleging is that put him in conflict with the city's attorneys. And therefore, that is what allowed him or required the city to pay for an independent attorney. So that's problem number one. What he didn't do was he didn't file under the state's Tort Claims Act.
Right.
So it wasn't that he didn't turn over because they were named, the county was named in the suit, so the county was aware of it. But the challenge here is that he did not file. He was alleged a tort, and he didn't file within the time period
6
for the
months,
tort claim. And he tried to allege there was a continuing violation, and the court said, no, you should have, if you're going to claim a tort, you should have filed by that.
Right. And the conflict issue, I think, is more interesting because it is a conflict. There's zero question when you're pinning two employees under the same employer against each other, there is inherently a conflict, period. So in that, but that didn't buy him any victory here.
No.
But again, people got to be very careful. And if there's a conflict, your lawyer should be demanding that they cover, right? That's normally what happens, that they cover. And those happen up front. Normally insurance companies, if this was an insured claim, I didn't see or self-insured, I don't know. But
I can't imagine. I can't
imagine either. So the insurance company, even if they just covered the defense, will normally provide, when there's a claim of a conflict, will normally provide another letter or lawyer to prevent all of this. So I don't know how it happened. I was a little shocked that there wouldn't have been, or if the lawyer didn't ask, or I don't know those facts. But
because I spent a little bit more time on this one just because I've been following this. There's 6 lawsuits against the Los Angeles County Fire Department. Now there's other suits against the county sheriffs and all that, but there's 6 total lawsuits involving the Los Angeles County Fire Department over this one incident, which involved taking pictures. And good God, I mean, at this point in time, we should at least have some sort of a policy regulating this and managing this. And then it's just a question of, supervising and managing the process now. But the potential here for up to $40 million in claims out of this one incident is remarkable.
And I got to tell you, and you do the same thing when we draft policies for our clients. I'm always saying there's no reason to take pictures on a scene other than on an official camera, on a dash cam. I said, but stop allowing Joe firefighter to take a picture on the scene. It's a recipe for a disaster. Just bring dynamite to the fire. It'll go just as well. That it's going to be the lowest common denominator. Firefighter is going to leak it or post it or do something with it. Have faith that they're going to do something stupid. Why? Because we're stupid. I don't know. It seems like a good idea until it's not. So
those who've taken my digital imagery class will know I go in a different direction. And that's fine. That's what makes the world go round. That's fine. But my point is, you got to manage it. You got to manage it. You can't just let people take pictures whenever they feel like. The picture taking is going to be managed, and then what you can do with the pictures has got to be managed. And that's a lot of work.
And how you store them, how you preserve them, when you can delete them.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I had a dentist appointment this morning, and I'm leaving the dentist's office. We caught a run right down the street from my house. So I ended up getting there, but I just ended up taking 2 pictures at the incident. It was a washing machine fire, but take the picture of the serial number and the name of the information that I need for the NFIRS report. Okay.
But there's a difference. You have rank.
I do, and we also have the benefit of my policy, which dictates what I'm supposed to do with those, where I'm supposed to archive them, how I'm supposed to archive them, and all that. So, and they won't surface on Facebook. So.